If you're concerned about mold in your home or you're dealing with unexplained health symptoms, the ERMI test from EnviroBiomics may be an important tool for you. In the next few minutes, we'll explain what the ERMI is, how it was developed, the science behind it, what it measures, and why it may be the right choice for understanding your indoor environment. The Environmental Relative Moldiness Index, or ERMI, was developed by scientists at the US Environmental Protection Agency and the Department of Housing and Urban Development in the early 2000s. Before ERMI, most mold testing relied on air samples or surface swabs. The problem was that air samples only provide a quick snapshot, and mold spores don't stay airborne for long. That meant hidden or past water damage could easily be missed. ERMI was designed to solve this problem. By analyzing settled dust, ERMI provides a longer term history of mold exposure and allows results to be compared against a national reference database of homes across the US. ERMI is a DNA based test. It uses a technique called quantitative PCR or qPCR to detect and measure mold species in your home's dust. The test looks at 36 different mold species divided into two groups. Group 1 molds are strongly associated with water damage. Group 2 molds are common in homes regardless of water damage. The ERMI score is calculated by subtracting Group 2 molds from Group 1 molds. This single score shows whether your home is trending more like water damage homes or more like typical reference homes. Since its development, ERMI has been used in dozens of peer reviewed studies. Researchers have found that higher ERMI scores are strongly associated with water damaged buildings and with respiratory issues such as asthma and wheezing. ERMI has been applied in studies not only looking at allergies, but also chronic illnesses such as chronic inflammatory response syndrome or CIRS, helping researchers better understand the relationship between indoor mold exposure and human health. While ERMI was originally created as a research tool, these studies confirm it is a reliable way to assess mold burden in real world homes. Unlike air testing, which captures a single moment in time, ERMI measures the history of mold exposure through dust. Because dust settles and accumulates, it acts like a time capsule of your environment. That's why ERMI often reveals problems that short term air sampling can miss. It's also more specific, identifying mold at the DNA level down to the species. ERMI can be especially helpful if your a loved one have ongoing health symptoms that may be mold related. You're buying or renting a home and want to evaluate it first, or you've had water damage or remediation and want to confirm resolution. But remember, ERMI is a screening tool, not a diagnosis. It doesn't replace a full inspection. If your results are concerning, the next step is to call a qualified indoor environmental professional who can identify the source and extent of the problem. Collecting an ERMI sample is simple. Using a Swiffer style cloth, wipe settled dust from undisturbed areas, like the top of a bookshelf or doorframe. Ship it to EnviroBiomics, and if received on a business day, your results may actually be available in as little as 24 hours. Why undisturbed dust, you may ask? Because it represents months of accumulation, not just yesterday's cleaning. Your ERMI report will include a list of mold species detected, their measured DNA quantities, Group 1 and Group 2 scores, and the overall ERMI score. In general, higher ERMI scores suggest more water damage associated molds are present. Scores above 2 are often concerning, especially for sensitive individuals who suffer from SIRS. ERMI scores below 0 are usually reassuring, though they cannot fully rule out water damage. In that sense, there is no strict safe versus unsafe cutoff. Interpretation always depends on context, your health history, your building's history, and the opinion of a qualified professional. The ERMI test is not a verdict. However, it is a powerful first step in understanding your indoor environment. By measuring mold DNA in your home's dust, ERMI provides clarity that traditional tests often miss. It empowers you with information so you can make confident decisions about your home and health. For more information or to order your test, visit envirobiomics.com. Your environment matters. Take the first step in understanding it.